started. Ratings. I just want to point out a couple players, and of course this whole title race thing that people keep saying. So, granted, we'll talk about Granit Xhaka and them throughout the player ratings. Let's just do this title race thing. Forget about this title race chat. There is no title race, people. All I have to say is 1 second. Let me continue. I'll get there. I'll get there. What I'm saying is, focus on winning our next game, and eventually we can discuss that. Right now, I'm just focused on winning our next game versus Liverpool, winning our next game versus PSV, winning our next game versus Leeds, just focus on winning your next games. This whole thing about title, yes, eventually you can get into a title picture, but right now I'm not focused on that. I don't want people to get away from the purpose of what we're doing. What we're doing right now is not to build up pressure on ourselves to say, oh, we're fighting for something bigger than just top four right now. First things first, you aim for one thing, and then you strive for more and more and more as you get there. Don't let people deter you. The whole reason why people keep saying title charge, they want people like Ben to say, yes, we are in a title challenge. So then now they have another thing that they can make fun of us about. They don't genuinely it's not a genuine question, because most people know Man City are going to probably walk away with this league. But in the case that something does happen, miracles can happen, then we can maybe look into it. But I genuinely don't believe we're in a title challenge. I think we need to focus on top four and stop letting other people deter you away and get you into side arguments where they're trying to make you look silly. That's what I think this whole title challenge thing is. It's not real. It's just people trying to run agendas. But yeah, Ben, you think we are in a title challenge?
Where are we in the league?
We're first.
How many games? How many games are we in? Name a team that's gone that who's been at the top of the league at this time of the season, won as many games as we have, and not been in a title race. Of course, we're in a title race. We might not be in a title race by next week, or in like a month's time, but at this moment in time, we are in a title race, and I want the players to think they're in a title race, because if they think they're in a title race, they're going to be striving for perfection. I don't want them to think they're in a top four race. I don't want them to think that, because that's not the mentality we need to be having, you know. And this is where I side a little bit with where I've always been an Arteta. I've always been a fan of Arteta, but this is where I side with some of the people that are Arteta outers, where they go, we need to be striving for winning. I know Tommy comes on and he says he wants to be winning the league. I want to be winning the league, and I think that's why we need to be all thinking. I think that's why I want the players to be thinking that they're in a title race. And as far as I'm concerned, until we start on a losing streak, that's where we are. And do you know what I mean? I don't care if I look stupid about it. Do you know what I mean? I don't care if down the line we're not in a title race, but we're not that far away. I know if we keep our injuries, that's all it is. If we keep us injuries and we can manage those, and that's a big if, but that's always a big if. You know, if Man City lose Haaland and a couple of players, they won't be as good as what they are. Do you know? So every team has got it for injuries, and if we keep us injuries, we're in a title race. I don't know, you know, I've seen your predictions on here, and every single prediction was a win. You know, you didn't predict any losers. So if you're not predicting any losses, right?
I'm just saying, go silent about it. I'm not saying puff up your chest and start screaming from the top of the table that we're title contenders. I'm just saying, let's just keep doing what we're doing. Let's just let them overlook us. Let them overlook us. Let them put all the pressure off us. I don't care. I think realistically, this team is good enough to win all our games for this month of October. It doesn't mean we're going to win all our games in the month of November, and it doesn't mean we're going to actually win the league. It just means I'm confident going into the World Cup that we're still going to be comfortably in the top half of the top, maybe 3 or 2 in the table.
Yeah, but if you I look at it as when you listen to some of the Invincibles, when you look at Martin Keown, they'd beaten their opposition in the tunnel before they come out because they looked over and they saw champions. And I want the team to think they're champions. I want the team to be coming out. I want us to be going to other people's ground and them thinking that we're title challengers. We're not. We're not there to be beaten.
Fully fit, we
Yeah.
are as good as every team in this league. The question
Yeah.
comes down to injuries, and somebody in the comment section just said that injuries will decide our position at the end of the season. That is
That
somewhat
decides
true.
every season. That decides every single season. Injuries is always. You've always got to have an element of luck on your side.
That
You know
is
what I
true.
mean? Every team that's ever won the league has had an element of luck, apart from City, where they've got an element of money. You know, but it's always an element of luck in the team. You know, look at when Liverpool won it. How many games did they play in that season?
Let me please shift away and back to what we were talking about in a second. But first, let's go to Souls. Souls, did you want to add anything to this title thing, or you want to just go straight into player ratings?
Hey, yo, let's enjoy it whilst we're in it. I don't understand why we can't put our chests out and just start enjoying every moment. With this, you know, one thing that annoys me about this whole football, no one's willing to do it. You're a fan. You know, being deluded is a compliment because it shows you're an actual fan. You know, if someone calls me deluded, I thank them because I'm like, thank God people think I'm an actual fan here. Because we're top of the league. We're 21 within 24 points. We've lost one game. We've destroyed everyone we've beaten by at least 2 goals. We've won in different manners. We've gone down. We've made mistakes, and we've still beaten those teams. We're not making multiple mistakes in the same game. Why not? We are in a title challenge. Do you know, because we've been shit for so long, people just can't grasp that we're finally looking good. Now, yes, people have different definitions for what a title challenge is and how many points you've got to be within City, but at the same time, finishing second and having a good season for us is magnificent. Like, that's the steps we need to take. The mentality in that room is we're going to be Premier League champions. If it's not, you go, you leave, you exit. That's the mentality. It doesn't mean we go win the league, but that's the mentality that you go out with every single game like you're going to win the league up until the very last game. Even if it's out of mathematical equations, you still go out there with that mentality. That's what an Arsenal player, that's what an Arsenal fan is meant to be. So for me, that's the mentality I want them to have, and I want the fans to start having that. Because remember when we had that chant, we're going to go to the champion. We've got Gabby in attack, Tierney at the back. We're going to the Champions League. Do you know how much that boosts the players up as well? Like, it's different. Like, the belief. That's why Arteta all summer long has accredited everything that we're doing to the fan and the atmosphere at the Emirates, and why him and Vinay are doing so much with the supporters club, the Ashburton Army, you know, all of that to create this atmosphere. And if we stop believing, do you think the players are going to believe? No. So we need to be that support for them.
You know what? Maybe I'm sticking too much. Maybe I'm too used to being that guy.
Get clipped, bro. Get clipped. It fucking doesn't matter. Let them come for you. Doesn't matter, bro. Stop. Forget about that element of thing.
I'm not going to get too excited yet. I think I need to see how we do against Liverpool. If we beat Liverpool, then we can clearly say, you know what?
lost to them twice and still won the league. It doesn't matter. They're not a defining moment for winning the league.
I'm just not going to get myself into that conversation yet.
Bro, you're a fan. Come on, be a fan. Be a fan.
I am a fan, and I have my ways of doing things, but I generally don't think we are in a title race yet. I think the title race thing, 8 games into the season, I think you have to look at it. Once you get 20, 10 games, once you get between 10 to 20 games, once you get 10 to 20 games into the season, that's literally 2 more games away from now, then you can start saying, you know what, this is what the table might look like at the end of the season.
Okay, in 46 years of the Premier League being alive, anyone that had the same start as us, any top 6 team that's had the same start and the same stats as us, has gone on to challenge for the title.
And I still think that this season there is a long way with the World Cup coming around and everything going around. Yes, there might be a lot of different hurdles in the way, but for me, in order for us to be in a title race, I'm saying title race is within a certain amount of points come the end of the year. title race is not in the first couple months, because then you could say teams like Brighton and Fulham and these guys, when they start
No, I
off a
said
good season.
top team, by the way, not the small teams who have good starts. This
Okay. I digress. Let's move on to the player ratings, my guy. We're gonna move on to player ratings now. With the player ratings, it's very simple. The way we're gonna do this, there's 3 of us here. We're all gonna give our ratings, and then we're gonna decide on who we actually want to give the ratings to, right? So we're gonna talk about every player, of course, but the main focus is gonna be on the players that we think are the man of the match type candidates. So first, Ramsdale. I think Ramsdale was good. I think he was better than Lloris. I'm giving Ramsdale a